You might be saying to yourself, what is a clause or a phrase? Well, a clause is a set of words that have a subject and a verb. A phrase, on the other hand, would be either a subject or a verb, but it wouldn't have both. It would be missing one or the other. Everyone say hi to my cat, Topanga. She's apparently very interested in grammar instruction. I want to make sure that something gets clarified from last week, and that's the difference between a noun and a subject. Yes, oftentimes subjects are nouns, but they could also be pronouns or gerunds, which are verbs that end in ing and act as a noun, like running is fun. Running is the subject of the sentence. Nouns are simply a part of speech. They could serve as objects. They could serve as subjects. They could serve as phrases. There's not a specific role that they have to serve. Sometimes a subject is a noun and sometimes a noun is a subject, but that isn't always the case. The important thing to remember is that a subject does the verb. Whatever it is that the action is, the subject is the thing that does the action. A noun is just a type of word. So, like I said, sometimes the subject is a noun, but it doesn't have to be. Let's talk about phrases. So in identifying phrases, you are missing part of the sentence. If I were to say, leaving school, I would ask the question, who is leaving school? There's an action there, but there's no subject doing the action. If I were to say, jumped over it, again, who jumped over it? It and school are nouns, but they don't tell me who is doing the action. I could say, because of his game. Well, now I have the subject, his game, but I don't have what the game did. I don't have the action. I could say, after the fight. Okay, again, I would ask myself, well, what happened after the fight? There's no action taking place. Even when I have a long set of words, such as running down the street after the game, I have to ask myself, well, who is doing the running? Because the running is the action of the sentence, but I don't have the subject to go along with that action. I would ask myself, who? Now let's look at clauses. Clauses, as you remember, are a set of words that have a subject and a verb. They tell us who and what it is that who did. So if I take after it rained, who is doing the action? It. What is it that they are doing? Rained. It rained. Let's take another example. The dog barked. Again, I'm going to ask, who? Oh, well, it was the dog. And did what? Well, the dog barked. That tells me the two parts of the sentence, the subject and the verb. Because she was shy. I ask myself again, who? Well, in this case, we're talking about she. And did what? Well, she was. If you're asking yourself, why does this matter? That's because clauses can be sentences. Phrases can never be sentences, but clauses have that ability because they have the subject and the verb, the two key parts of a sentence. Tune in next week to understand when a clause would not be a sentence.